key difference between DoD and DoR in Agile. Introduction. Hi viewers. Hope you must have gone through Cloud Project, ChatGPT Project, DoD and DoR articles. Now, this video elaborates the difference between the DoD and DoR. It narrates how both can assist you invariably deliver precious software. You'll also have example or sample DoD and DoR, and learn how to formulate and utilize them effectively. Before we start, please like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates. While this video describes the both definitions as they perform in Scrum, they fit with any types of Agile framework project management. And although we speak about user tales, these exist for any product backlog article. A sprint is a time-bound development cycle for project management that snatches high-priority articles off the sprint backlog and rolls them into a product improvement. Nevertheless, in order to snatch items into the recent sprint successfully, it is crucial that the predefined user stories are often ready. Snatching unrefined or unfinished user stories into a sprint results in problems throughout the execution cycle, as it follows the older doctrine of garbage in, garbage out. If developers act off with inadequately provided defined or detailed user stories, they won't be able to generate high-quality code. Definition difference. DoR, definition of ready. The definition of ready specifies the quality norms for the composition of any user story, business epic, and product release theme. These norms make sure that any backlog item being contemplated for performance is truly ready to be performed on and to be shifted into the next sprint. This implies that the development team can surely dedicate and accomplish the backlog item by the end point of a sprint. DoD, definition of done, characteristics. The DoD ascertains the quality norms for delivery of product improvement. The DoD is utilized to evaluate when work is accomplished on the product improvement. A DoD needs to wrap three relevant areas including quality, integration and risk-based cover-up to assure each portion of task will be releasable. EY difference between the DoR and DoD. The key difference between DoR and DoD is that DoR wraps the necessities moving into the sprint. DoD wraps the product releasing from the sprint. So the DoR assigns to the user stories. It turns transparent the team's shared knowledge of what's desired for a specific user story to be carried into a sprint. The DoD is implemented to your working software. It turns transparent the team's shared knowledge of the quality norms a portion of work desires to reach to be obtainable. Difference in sample or example. DoR, definition of ready, sample. Business value is certainly conveyed. Details are satisfactorily understood by the development team so it can give rise to a knowledgeable decision as to whether it can accomplish the PBI, product backlog item. Dependencies are recognized and no outsider dependencies would prevent the PBI from being accomplished. Team is employed properly to finalize the PBI. The PBI is calculated and small enough to smoothly be accomplished in one sprint. Acceptance norms are apparent and testable. Performance norm, if any, are specified and testable. Scrum team realized how to illustrate the PBI at the sprint examination. DoD, definition of done, samples. Improve assessed while maintaining all user information intact. Effectively releasable development accessible for download. Overview of modifications amended to include recently enforced characteristics. Inactive/unapplied characteristics hidden, not displayable. Unit tests mentioned in green. Source code assigned on server. Jenkins assembled version and all tests conducted OK. Code checking accomplished or pair programmed. How to demo assessed prior to demonstration to product owner. Approved from product owner. Characteristics difference. DoR, definition of ready, characteristics. A crucial component of a user story is acceptance norm for the same user story. Please note that the acceptance norms are interpreted distinctive to a user story. Why acceptance norm is required for user stories. Acceptance norm is a necessary part of user story description to make sure that developed software matches substantial business requirements. They serve as a purpose for description of test cases that make sure attaining business objectives and generate error-free apps. Mentioning acceptance criteria is truly a succeeding activity for both stakeholders and development teams as follows. The team realizes precisely what is anticipated of them. Maintains the stakeholder abruptly of development procedure. 3 considerations of acceptance norm. The main considerations of acceptance norm are what, why, and how. What to consider. External quality aspects specified by the product owner from a business perspective. Exit norms that a component or a system needs to fulfill in order to be approved by an end user, consumer, or other legal/authorized entity. Why to consider. To specify limitations for user story, assist the product owner clarify what they expect in order for the same user story to deliver value, i.e. minimum functional needs. Assist team to increase shared knowledge and attain consensus. Assist developers understand when to cease integrating more features to a story. To render as a basis for developing tests. To permit for exact planning and assessment. How to consider. Acceptance norm. Define aspired behavior and are utilized to assume whether a PBI, product backlog item, has been successfully formulated. The template, given/when/then, supports to decrease the time spent on attributing test cases by depicting the system's upfront feature. We like inscribing acceptance criterion with the first person i.e., I, since it aids us conversation from a user's opinion and can serve a user's needs in mind. Example, user story with acceptance criteria. As a daily online banking user, I expect to detect a current balance for my active accounts so that I can keep in mind the balance amount available in my account after accomplishment of every transaction. The current balance is shown. The current balance is calculated for each transaction. The balance is shown for each transaction for the exact period of transactions are available. The balance is not viewed if a filter has been executed. DoD, definition of done, characteristics. The consent between the product owner and the development team. Applies to all tasks of the whole team, comprising of user stories and error resolution i.e. bug correction. Must permit instant release of product improvement. Quality improvements with growth, hence the different components of the DoD are anticipated to become more enterprising over time. Risk-based wrap-up. Bind off any slack ends that seem to trip you up further. If there's anything you can perform that's a good challenge to save task later, accomplish it now. For instance, easy documentation often conserves time of you and your team later. And if you prefer not to expel the work, if you've developed it for user examination, you should understand that you can securely release it later. Scrum guide differences. While a DoR is assumed in Scrum, it isn't a common artifact. This indicates that making a conventional DoR is optional. As per Scrum Guide, PBI, product backlog items, that can be accomplished by the Scrum team within one sprint are considered ready for nomination in a sprint planning incident. They generally obtain this degree of clearness after refining action. Compare this with the DoD, which is one of the 3 conventional artifacts of Scrum. The Scrum Guide names it an agreement. The DoD is a common explanation of the state of the improvement and it fulfills the quality criteria expected for the product. What the DoR and DoD have in common. As the definition section indicates, they're both about bringing things clear and easily understandable. They share the similar ultimate Agile objective, enabling you unfailingly provide useful working software. They are also both decent when they are being built together as a team, which develops buy-in and shared knowledge. Arrange your team and context, enabling them meaningful and valuable. Maintained relevant, edit them if they don't fulfill your current requirements. Clear and straightforward, so they're much easier to utilize and remember. Conclusion. Hope the video has clarified your doubt about difference between DoR and DoD. This video definitely clarifies the confusion of development team members. Please like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.